Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or I should say this afternoon. I thought it was the morning for some reason. But anyways, what's going on, everyone? Good afternoon. It is Tuesday afternoon today. For some reason, I thought it was Monday as I started the stream. It is what it is, as I usually say. You guys can see the title of the stream, Huge Level for Crypto and Bitcoin. We're going to go over why it's such a big level, and it more so has to do with the altcoin market cap. Because around the space, I'm hearing this bearishness for the altcoin market cap, and that actually could be that bearish scenario for the altcoin market cap, which could pull down Bitcoin and all its little friends here back down to the downside. So we're gonna go over that. We'll go over that second. We'll go to the 1 hour and the 4 hour for BTC first, and then we'll come back to this crypto total market cap and kind of let me explain why I think that, if we break this current level we're at right now, we could see some more downwards pressure. But let's go over the 1 hour and the 4 hour for Bitcoin, and then we'll jump back into this, okay? Into this. Anyways, let's jump on into the 1 hour chart for BTC. This morning we were looking at kind of this downwards channel with this one little kind of outlier here, but we actually did get a fourth bounce off this downwards channel today, which is nice to see. We still have that bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame where we're still making lower lows on the price action and making higher lows on the RSI. So we'll see if this can bounce. I mean, we did get one bounce from it, then we got a second bounce from it. We're not really getting that that oomph up to the upside that we're kind of waiting for here. Necessarily for BTC. Now, one thing I will note is if you look at some of the shorter term time frames, it does look like Bitcoin might be forming some sort of falling wedge, which is typically a bullish pattern on some of the shorter term time frames. If we look here on the 15 minutes in particular, I know it's the 15 minute, but bear with me, it'll kind of go to my next point here. On the 15 minute, you do have a little bit of a falling wedge, which is typically a bullish pattern and could get you back up to retesting maybe the top of this channel on the 1 hour time frame if we can break it to the upside. Obviously, that's something that's kind of speculative. We'll have to wait to see if we break it first, but it is something that I did notice on the shorter term time frame. So that's really the 1 hour. We're waiting to see if this bullish divergence could push us back up higher. The volume we saw today, we did a decent volume spike there on the 1 hour time frame, but nothing absolutely massive that's completely worrying. I still think the volume was still kind of lackluster today. Knock on wood. Let's hope that we don't get some huge volume coming in here within the next 57 minutes until the daily close. But switching on over to the 4 hour time, let me actually preface one thing here. If we can't get back above 32,659, which is kind of that swing level that I see for Bitcoin right now, I do see probably a move, and if you just zoom out, more so on the 4 hour time frame, but I think our next big support, if we can't get back above this, we break 32,230, I think a move down to 31,300 makes the most sense, just because we have a peak here and a peak here as kind of maybe our next support levels for BTC. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we have a bullish pattern on the smaller time frames, but once again, it's a smaller time frame. We can't take much from the 15 minute. We can only take the data that we do have. Now, switching on over to the 4 hour, we know earlier today, right? For anyone that didn't watch the stream, we did break down from our symmetrical triangle. Though there's one thing that I was expecting more of, right? I was expecting more out of this breakout. Now, it could just be us, consolidating until we come back up and maybe retest the top of this. To get rejected, right? We always want to come back and retest the triangle and then move back down. That could certainly be a possibility. But the one thing I did notice, and if you look at the volume down here, we didn't get some historical. We were looking at, what I want to say is we were looking for a bigger move outside of this triangle. We just didn't get it. The volume doesn't really support a massive breakout, right? We still have lower volume overall, right? So to me, do you take that information and you say, maybe we weren't in a symmetrical triangle? And this is what you have to do sometimes. We're looking at the charts. You got to look at your breakout and say, does this make sense for a breakout based on the volume that we got? Now, I know we don't always have to necessarily get tons of volume, But, you know, that's one thing that I do normally look at. Now, could you look at this, you know, if you wanted to get your so-called devil's advocate here, could you look at this as more of a falling wedge, right? Where we have one touch, two touches, and now three touches coming down, and we maybe extend, or we get rid of this line and we actually extend this out, something along the lines of this. I think this would make sense based on the volume that we just, lack of volume that we got on this breakout, right? We didn't really see it. So we'll wait and see. I'm going to keep this trend line here just in case it is just a back test. But nonetheless, I could definitely see more of a falling wedge playing out where it could break us back up to the $36,000 range if we can, like I said, we talked about the 1 hour, if for whatever reason we can come back up and break out of this sort of falling channel, right? So we'll wait and see, right? I'm waiting for that volume spike. It just hasn't came yet. Still extremely slow. Still extremely slow. You haven't drawn the triangle correct. Maybe not. Maybe not. There's no bullish or bearish. It's money or money. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you, kind sir, in the chat for, you know, stating the obvious, man. Thank you, man. But anyways, like I said, a lot of the short-term time frame stuff right now, Bitcoin's in kind of a no trade. I mean, it's good for maybe trading the swings and stuff, but as far as like long-term swing trades, I don't think it's a good time, just because it's so unpredictable right now. You can look bearish one day and then bullish the next, and that's kind of why around the space there's a lot of confusion right now. People don't know whether to be bullish or bearish. The short-term time frame charts looked pretty bearish yesterday. They still look pretty bearish today, but there's a little bit more hope in like the 1 hour chart and things of that nature. But I did want to touch on this, and maybe that we're in something along the lines of this. Okay, so let me jump into what I want to talk about kind of here on the longer term time frames. Here is the total 2 market cap. So there's people who have talked about this. You know, guys like Crypto Kirby, Crypto Savvy's looked at this, and I agree with their sentiment where, you know, maybe we should be looking at the altcoin market cap instead of the total market cap, because back here, you know, we didn't have, you know, altcoin pairs, we didn't have stable coins, which could inherently change the way you look at the market, right? So the one thing I did want to notice, and what we've been really looking at here for the altcoin market cap is, you know, we bounced off the 200-day moving average right here, and we are about to, we're right on that 200-day moving average as we speak right now. And I told you guys, as long as we hold this 200 daily on the altcoin market cap, you know, I think that's, you know, not bearish until we break it. But right, we got to bounce off of it, and now we're coming back down to test this line once again. Now, what I will state is that that 200-day moving average that we're currently looking at right now also correlates exactly with our previous highs, right? So this is a critical level, and we don't want to break this level. 200 moving average, previous highs, very important support that we don't want to break. The one thing I do want to state is if we do break this, I think we see a quick move down to 587 billion there, which is approximately about a 17% move to the downside for really altcoins, right? Which is a significant move. We don't want to see that unless you plan on wanting to buy more altcoins, which some of us do. Some of us are out of fiat. Some of us are out of you know, homes to sell to get more crypto, right? A lot of us don't have the fiat, so a lot of us want it to pump. But if you want to buy more coins, that might be a good thing. Now, the one thing I do want to notice, if you look in 2017, we did a similar type of thing in 2017. And I did want to point this out to everyone. So in 2017, we came back down, right? Tested the 200-day moving average, got an initial bounce, came back down, and that second try, we actually dipped back below it, right? Came back up, confirmed it as resistance, and then the rest was kind of history. We actually ended up getting back above it temporarily, but really the rest was history once we kind of broke that, right? So the one thing, it's kind of what we're similar to what we're doing now, right? Where, you know, we came back down and we're testing it again. So will a similar thing happen? Well, that's another thing we'll have to wait and see. This is pretty critical support, even if you're not looking at it as a potential bear market start, right? It is a pretty critical support where we do want to hold, so you know, we don't test these lower levels here. And don't see a 17% move down for the total market cap. It's something that we don't want to see. The one thing I will note, though, is on the daily RSI, if we do dump there, I don't think we go much lower than that. Like I've stated, because you know, we don't have. I mean, we could dip significantly lower here on the daily, but you know, I think a move back down to 587 billion, we would bottom out on the daily RSI. So that's one thing I did want to note on that. But we'll see. All right, a lot of people have been talking about this, so I did want to touch on that for everyone in here. Mohammed said, "I hate pickles and burgers." Yes, I hate. Actually, I do love. I like pickles and burgers. I don't like tomatoes and burgers. Actually, I'm kidding. I do like tomatoes and burgers. I like tomatoes, pickles, everything you can ever ask for in freaking in pickles, right?
Do you ever use the Keltner channels? Kirby loves it.
Keltner channels? No, I don't use the Keltner channels personally. Anyways, yeah, I don't. I watch Crypto Kirby, but I don't watch that. Thank you for the $5 super chat, by the way, Neil, and also Rob. Appreciate it, man. But anyways, we're watching this on Bitcoin. We'll watch that return the stream today. George, in the beginning of the stream, wanted to say, I think we're gonna get price action today. Out of all days, he jinxed it. So most likely we're gonna go sideways like we usually do. I still think a big move is coming, guys. You guys know the daily, all the daily indicators pointing to a big move, right? Our RSI getting squeezed here. Obviously, it's the RSI. It's not price action, but we do have a downward resistance, upward support on the RSI. Which way will we break? Volume still extremely freaking low. It's insanely low. I haven't honestly. This is crazy. We haven't seen like we talked about yesterday. We haven't seen volume this low and for this significant amount of time, really since like back here in July of last year, right? Okay, almost a year ago, right? Which is pretty funny because the last time we saw that, it was extremely boring, like right here, extremely boring. People really didn't know where we're going to go. People were like, oh, we're going back down. People were bearish, still bearish at this time. This is kind of like the middle of 2020, which we know what happened in 2020. And then all of a sudden, we got a massive pump here to 9,000 all the way up to about 1,250. So 12,500. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, when the volume's low, big moves coming. Bollinger Band's still extremely tight. So I'm still expecting to move on that. MACD still confused. It wants to flip bearish, then it comes back bullish, but it looks like it's about to flip bearish. Stock RSI, we're almost to the bottom there, but we're still kind of in the middle. So could see a little bit more downwards price action on that. So daily indicators to me look slightly bearish to neutral. I mean, we know in times like this, we don't really know what's going to happen. We have the indicators we have. We try to do the best to see what the indicators are going to tell us, but we know at the end of the day, there's probably 20 people sitting at a table that are like, they're like this. They do like ASMR to each other. They're like this. What do we feel like doing for Bitcoin today? Oh, you want to dump Bitcoin 20% today? And they call dump it, and they go like this. Looks like our friends from England want to pump Bitcoin's price today. All right, pump it, and they just pump it, right? We know how that really goes. So we do our best to really do the best we can, right? We have our crystal balls and we have our crystal balls and try to predict the market. But I always want to state that, no one really knows where we're going to go right now. I mean, it's everyone's best guess. I'm telling you guys, this is one of the most confusing times in crypto that I have ever seen, right? This is very reminiscent to me of the top in 2019 where we're getting that little dead cat bounce. Everyone's like, oh, we're going to a new bull market, going to a new bear market. No one really knows where we're going to go right now. This is crazy. It's a crazy time. I think that the community is pretty 50-50 right now, like literally 50-50 whether we dump or pump. Man, it's crazy. It's a crazy time for BTC. Obviously, on this daily time frame, not much has changed. Obviously, we know we got rejected from our mid kind of support resistance box just the other day. And like I said, every time we have dipped below that, most of the time we come back down to this big green box of support of at least 31,500. So maybe another $1,000 dip minimum. I'm not really sure. That's what the chart's telling me. So We'll wait and see what happens. Only the market makers know. Nobody knows the sorrows. Do the technical analysis ever work in crypto? Don't think so. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. Now, in times like this, it's a little bit more unpredictable, but a lot of patterns still play out perfectly. RSI works absolutely, like, literally perfectly pretty much every single time. I mean, it's not perfect science like it is. If it was a perfect science, everyone would be rich. But it does work if you use it correctly, right? But obviously, like I always state, a news event, right? A sentiment shift out trumps TA, right? TA is kind of a secondary to fundamentals, but TA can help you when you use it the right way, but not everyone can use it the right way. So that's kind of the whole deal with that. So we're waiting for a move, right? We know we're waiting for this kind of apex to play out. July 18th happens to be July 18th, and the GBTC unlocks. Not sure if that's going to be a non-event. It probably, if anything, I don't think it directly affects the price, but I do think the fear and the FUD along with that unlock is going to probably cause a dip, in my personal opinion, just because people are going to be, oh no, Grayscale is going to be unlocking. Oh no, and people are going to be panicking. It's going to start a chain of events. But if anything, I think that'll be negative. I don't see that as a positive. At least maybe long term, it's a positive event, but I don't see short term how it being positive for BTC at the moment. Okay. And for anyone that's new to the stream, it's like, wow, this guy is bearish. This guy is hecka bearish. Like you've probably heard around the space, right? Even us long-term bulls. I'm extremely long-term bull. I'm always wearing my bull suit, but I do want to state that, if a chart looks bearish on the shorter term time frames, I'm going to let you know, right? But I am long-term bullish. I do think Bitcoin breaks all-time highs by the end of this year. Still, right? But over the course of maybe the next 1, 2, 3 months, I think sideways action, maybe slightly little more downwards, is certainly possible, right? So always keep that in mind. I'm not like some full-on bear, right? I am a bull at the end of the day, but boring times like this, they really know how to shake people out. They really know how to shake people out. And like I always said, I can literally sit up here and try to find one bullish thing that's like, and make videos like other people do in the space where they find, like, they could find 50 bearish things, but they'll find the one bullish thing, make a video on it and go, oh, bottom indicator. And like, it's like the one thing they could find, right? And they ignore all the bearish stuff. That's not what we do here. That's not what we do here. So keep that in mind, all right? So we looked at a bunch of bearish stuff. All right, bear. Okay, bear. Let's look at the one bullish on-chain metric. I don't look at these too much because you can spin these in bearish and bullish ways. A lot of this stuff is completely biased, but this is basically exchange net position. So this is about basically the amount of Bitcoin that's on exchanges. We've now seen it come off exchanges once again, and typically this is a bullish shine, right? When you start seeing these huge green spikes, usually means people are taking profits, right? Or putting their Bitcoin back on exchanges and taking profits. Right now, we flipped back into people taking their Bitcoin off of exchanges, which usually means hodlers. People are hodling, right? People are moving into cold storage. People are doing whatever with their crypto, right? So this is what this tells me. It's usually what happens, on the bottoms. It's not a perfect science, but you can see most of the time when we do start flipping red again, we tend to see upwards price action shortly after, right? As you guys can see on by these arrows here. So keep that in mind, right? I think that maybe the sentiment's switching a little bit as far as hodlers, but obviously for the price to go up, we need new buyers, right? So hodlers can haul all they want, but we need new buyers to come into the space to push up the market. But maybe we kind of hit a baseline where this is kind of where we settle for a little bit before we kind of move up higher, right? Obviously not a perfect thing, but it is something to look at that might give you some bullish hopium there if you need the bullish hopium. Forget the short-term price, man. Like I've always said, dude, Bax, no one wants to watch a stream where you just stare at the weekly chart all day. It's like watching paint dry, right? So unfortunately, you got to look at the short-term price action because, that's what's exciting, right? We can talk about, you know, the weekly all you want, but there's only so much to talk about on the weekly time frame, right? Bitcoin. I told you guys, even if we dip, we most likely, in my opinion, close above the 50-week exponential moving average like we've done every week. Every week we're dumping, oh, we're going to zero. We're going to zero. We're going to zero. 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 And every week we close right back above that moving average. Another week in paradise here for BTC. We're below the 50-week. Most likely we close back above it just like every single week. Now, if we don't, well, that's probably pretty bearish. And I'd probably be looking at my next target here, which is approximately about 26,800, which is the 0.618 Fibonacci here, really where we touch our golden pocket there, right around 27,000, you can call it, right? That's where I see Bitcoin going. If we close below that, if we do go that low, I do expect a quick recovery back into our current range, right? Where then we probably go sideways even longer, right? But it's not something where I expect it to just come down here and kind of settle, right? I do expect, you know, if we jump down here to be a quick recovery. That's kind of what I'm looking here on the longer term time frames. Now, like I said, if for whatever reason Bitcoin can start pumping, we'll start looking at upwards price targets. I'm just not seeing the sentiment. I'm not seeing the so-called where the buy pressure is going to come in necessarily to push Bitcoin higher on the longer term time frames at this current time. I think eventually sentiment will kind of pick back up if we keep making a base at these $30,000 levels, you know, and eventually the sentiment will pick back up. You know, we'll start doing one of these where we kind of start maybe rounding out somewhere, and you know, people start getting bullish again. Oh, this is looking like a bottom, and then FOMO starts, and that kind of starts your next rally, right? Right now, I just don't see the sentiment where we just kind of hear and we're just like, boop. I don't see that sentiment. Yeah, does anyone in the chat see the sentiment where we're at right now, and we just start pumping out of nowhere, right? We need a solid base, one, or we need some big news to come out. I saw in the chat earlier that, you know, we need Apple to come in and buy Bitcoin. If Apple can come in, buy $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, all right, there we go. Game over, right? We probably start pumping. But until we really get that, you know, until we really get that big news event, or we really just start rounding out, I just don't see the sentiment of us moving up at this current time. And I think that's what's kind of wrong with the hopium right now is where are the new buyers going to come from, right? We need to create FOMO, and to create FOMO, you need upwards price action. If you look at the weekly, I mean, you're just kind of going down, right? You're not really creating that healthy. You're not really creating that healthy uptrend where people are going to start FOMOing in. So that's why I kind of want to note it there is be realistic when you're looking at the charts. I mean, like I said, I could find some weekly stuff where I'm like, oh, bottom indicator. This is the bottom indicator. And it's like one indicator out of 100 on the chart, right? But that is one thing that I did want to notice. And like I've always said, if we do dip lower, guys, you know, the 0.618 is the level I see. It's where we probably bottom out on the RSI like we've done every single time in every bear market. We don't have that much lower to go. That's the one positive thing I can say on the weekly right now is even if we do dip lower, we don't have much lower to go based off past events. Now, we could always drop lower on the RSI, but based off past events, Bitcoin does not like to be oversold on the weekly. It's actually never been oversold on a close, it looks like, on the weekly time frame ever. So keep that in mind. We're currently at a 42 on the RSI. We only have a little bit lower to go if we go lower, in my personal opinion. So that's kind of my spiel about kind of being realistic where we are in the market right now. I think, you know, let's be honest. Can someone in the chat, right? And I want to be honest. Like, it's not just me being bearish right now. It's you guys know I'm long-term bullish, and you know, I want to be bullish because bullish gets more clicks and all that stuff. You guys know that. If someone could give me one reason why Bitcoin would just randomly start pumping right now, besides you know, Apple buying Bitcoin or something super bullish like that, some news event, let me know. I'll definitely look at it on the charts in the chat, right? Let me know in the chat. Give me one indicator. Give me something that's just going to tell Bitcoin that we're just going to go like this right now. I'm not seeing it, right? And if people disagree, then give me something. Give me something that disproves that. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Let's go to one hefty upswing and it becomes bullish. I mean, we saw that right here. We saw that right here, right? And we just went up and got rejected, right? So I think it's going to take a break. To me, it's going to take a break in the 21-week exponential. If we can break the 21-week exponential at 39,900, I think that's when we can maybe start getting some bullish momentum. But we got to break that 21-week exponential. To me, that's what it really comes down to, right? That's what it really comes down to. If Elon tweets, manipulators decide it's time. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's kind of speculative, though. You know what I mean? That's kind of speculative. Apple never buy. Whales will pump the price soon for a relief and dump. Well, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking more of like, what's the sentiment of Bitcoin just going like this, right? There's no sentiment for that. But there's some people that still think that we're just going to go whoop. You know, if anything, what we'll do is, you know, maybe we'll come up, test the 21-week, come back down, you know, come back up, retest the 21-week as we're kind of going like this, retest it, you know, slowly start maneuvering back up, right? Slowly for the bullish sentiment, right? Imagine BTC getting banned but go to oblivion. Yeah, we would. That's not going to happen. Bitcoin's not going to get banned in the US. Not going to happen, man. Anyways, the 4-hour RSI looks like it's going to bottom out.
The 4-hour stock RSI looks like it's in the floor and ready to move up.
Stock RSI is in the floor. I mean, the 4-hour is pretty low too, right? The 4-hour regular RSI is pretty low. Like I said, we have bullish divergence on the 1 hour. So I think short term, like we talked about in the beginning, I think it makes sense that we get maybe one more rally back up to the upside here. We also bounced off this support line. Stock RSI is bottomed out. 1 hour bullish divergence. I think it makes sense we get, you know, a pump back up to at least retest this trend line, right? At least retest this. Maybe try not to confirm it as resistance. And if we can get back above this, maybe we come back up and test our top of the trend line. So we'll see. We'll see at the moment. What's up, Edward? I missed you a lot. Thank you, man. Because of George, I no longer FUD. I am now a George. Yeah. There's no problem with hopium, man. There's no problem with hopium, but sometimes, like, you know, I understand, you know, always being positive and stuff like that. But it's good to be a realist sometimes too. Good to be a realist. The charts don't look great, but like I stated in the beginning, if the whales want to pump it, all of them is sitting at the desk. You guys want to pump Bitcoin today? Want to break all new all-time highs next month? Yeah, sure. All right. And they just all hit like a couple buttons, and all of a sudden Bitcoin starts going back up again. Sometimes that's what you need, right? But that's obviously pure speculation. That's not something that we can just be like, this data is telling us this, right? But that's my kind of rant, right? That's my rant. The 4-hour stock RSI looks like it's on the floor, ready to move up. Sure it is, man. Sure it is. George is the Kanye West of Bitcoin. Opium can lead your community to take huge L's. Sometimes. I get why George does it, right? He's thinking long term, just like I do. And when I'm talking, I'm thinking more, you know, I'm talking more the next 1 to 3. I'm talking maybe in the next month or so. I'm not so much talking about long term, right? You guys know my long term view. I think Bitcoin breaks all-time highs by the end of this year. I don't think I have to say that. I don't think I say that enough, right? Or I think I say that too much, right? I don't want to get the Dogecoin tattoo. Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs by the end of this year. Okay, we got 6 months to do it. We're gonna freaking do it. When I'm being bearish, I'm more so talking about maybe the next month, 2 months, some in that kind of time range, right? But I think, if anything, that's good, right? We get more coins for the inevitable run up if we still got fiat, right? All right, let's go over to Ethereum.
This is
Ethereum.
my wife, Ethereum.
There's my wife, Ethereum. All right, Ethereum. I'm watching a similar downwards channel to Bitcoin, more so on the daily time frame. And I think this is what we should be more worrying about, is not so much the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and a lot of these altcoins, because we know they follow Bitcoin. So there's not really a point of looking at the short-term time frames. What are they doing on the daily? Well, we're at a critical support line right now for ETH, right? We're at the top of this green box where we actually had support or resistance there, turned it into support, and now are testing it as support again. So we want to hold that green box, and the top of the green box is preferable. So that is kind of where we're at right now for Ethereum. If we could bounce there, perfect. I could see maybe a little inverse head and shoulders maybe playing out. We can bounce there and continue up. Obviously, it's going to depend on what Bitcoin does, though, right? If Bitcoin can bounce from where it's at right now, which would be absolutely phenomenal, I hope it happens. Ethereum would look really good. You probably would break this trend line and continue up and get up to higher prices. If that's the bullish scenario. Bearish scenario is we break this, right, and we come back down to test probably the bottom of this green box, which is approximately about 1,700. I'll put a line here. It's a pretty big support and resistance looking left, and you get support on it there, support there, support on it all throughout there. So it's a pretty big level, right around 1,700 or so, give or take a few bucks or whatever. But that's the level we are looking at for ETH if we do dump to the downside. Obviously, we have a ton of support here. Set about 1,700, 1,500, 1,400, kind of around those ranges. You guys can see the numbers here on the right. But that's kind of what I'm looking at for ETH, right? Not too much else besides that. Our moving averages, you can see we broke below. We came back up, got rejected from our 50-day, and then came back down and, broke our 200-day moving average. But we did that previously. We did that right here. So it doesn't seem like Ethereum's really respecting that 200-day moving average. So it is something to look at, but, looks like we have broken that once again. Looks like we're going to get our daily close below it in 27 minutes. So we shall see for Ethereum on the daily. That's really Ethereum on the daily. ETH Bitcoin pair is looking fine, right? Looking fine. I mean, we're still kind of in this bull flag. We're dropping pretty hard on this. Why are we dropping pretty hard on this? Well, Bitcoin's kind of struggling right now, right? So when Bitcoin struggles, usually going to see the altcoins dump a little harder. That's what we're seeing, right? Ethereum's dumping a little bit harder than Bitcoin. Inherently, the Ethereum Bitcoin pair drops here. So I'm looking for support on this trend line here, which is basically our previous highs, right? 1, 2, 3, obviously one fake out, 4, 5. That's kind of the level I'm looking at. You want to confirm that as support. You break below that, well, you're looking for support on the bottom of this flag. This is basically if you're looking, if you should be in Bitcoin or Ethereum. But that's one thing I do like to look at for ETH, for my little ETH. Fashad shot his blank on Super Chats and Shiba. Man. Fashad, we're going to the moon. Best believe. Is Fashad in here today? Where's Fashad? Fashad, you better hold the line at 30K, man. Better hold the line at 30K. Small waist, pretty face with a big face, says the cruise. What's going on, dude? What's going on, dude? All right, let's jump into on Cardano. I'm going to try to jump through, some of this stuff today. It's because it's like, let's see how many people we got about 1,200 people. It's actually more than I thought we're going to have in here today. Just because, like, in reality, Bitcoin's not doing really much today. To be honest, we dumped a little bit and we kind of retraced some of the move here. So Bitcoin in reality really didn't do much since this morning. But Cardano, it got rejected off this kind of falling channel that I'm also looking at for Cardano. So we looked at the same thing with Ethereum, same thing with Bitcoin. Cardano's doing a similar type of thing, but Cardano looking a little more bullish, right? We're still above our 200-day, which we bounced off of here. And I think that's the level we're looking at next. I mean, if you just look at on a daily, the next big support is I have the top of this green box. It's approximately about, you know, $1.15, and that's only if Bitcoin continues to drop. If Bitcoin doesn't continue to drop, um, we're here for you, Jordan, not Bitcoin. I assume so at this point, right? I assume at this point. I don't think I probably half the people in here don't really care what I'm saying. They're just like, I'm here because that's what I do every day, right? I think that's kind of the reality most of us are in, probably including myself sometimes. You know, I'm here because that's what I do. No, I obviously enjoy doing this, but 200-day moving average is coming up. So I think a bounce off that and the top of the screen box would make a lot of sense as far as the next supports goes. But that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for on Cardano. We do have room to run down on the daily RSI. Not seeing any really sentiment for any bullish divergence or anything. I mean, not really getting any setups as far as that goes. You could possibly build some bullish divergence for Cardano if you do drop to this 200-day. You probably would have some higher lows, and you probably, if you did drop that low, would probably have some bullish divergence because the RSI would probably drop below this previous low. So that could be a nice little setup as far as a reversal goes. Probably see that for a lot of different coins, by the way. But that's kind of looking at for Cardano as far as the longer term time frame charts. Like I said, we can look at the 4 hour all we want, but I mean, it tells you pretty much the same story, right? Got rejected. Probably, I mean, you have a little more supports on the 4 hour you can look at, but mostly I think move down to about 112 makes sense. And I don't think you'll last very long if you do drop that low, because every time Cardano drops down there, it gets bought up. What's the joke? It gets bought up like some cotton candy at a damn local fair. Not a city fair, a local fair, okay? Because local fairs only have one stand and they never have enough cotton candy for the kids. They make all the kids cry like I do when I'm working at McDonald's. I make 3 kids cry a day. 3 kids cry every single day, okay? For you guys who are new, I work at McDonald's, right? It's kind of what I had to do during this little bear market. So if I seem a little down today, I just got off a shift, you know, about a 10-hour shift in between streams. And, you know, it's been a long day. It's been a long day, okay? You can see my hat got a little cheeseburger on it. It's a little dirty right now. And that's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. But yeah, I mean, that's really Cardano, guys. I mean, you guys know where I'm coming from, you know, as far as looking at the stuff. Now, what I did want to spend some time on today was the macro time frame. So we already looked at the total 2 market cap. Total market cap looks a little weird. I think the total market cap, what I do have to note is I think we're making an absolutely beautiful falling wedge on the total market cap. Now, this is obviously including Bitcoin and altcoins, where the one we looked at before was just including altcoins, right? So this one, if you look at this from this sense, I think, you know, obviously this one, we know we broke, you know, 200-day moving average, confirmed it as resistance. Obviously bearish structure on this one. We get that, right? But you can see that where the supports are coming, right? Resistance is coming straight down here. Supports, you got 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3 wicks on the bottom. So to me, this is looking pretty good. Obviously, we know this is a bullish pattern, so maybe this gets us, you know, if this can break out back up to the upside, right? This is something bullish, right? And we looked at bearish stuff the entire stream so far. So if we get a little bit more positive, a breakout of this would push us back towards 1.87 trillion. So that is something to look at. Now, obviously, we have this green box of support that I don't want to break for the bearish scenario. And what I'm hoping here is, you know, we hold this and we break out to the upside. But if we break back down, I guess it's not the end of the world. We could wick back down here and then hopefully break out to the upside. What we don't want to do is break this green box and then dump from this wedge. I think that would probably, by the time we even got down there, we'd be significantly lower than we are now. So if you want to take one thing bullish, right, this is maybe a bullish structure. Showing maybe some seller exhaustion with some crazy buy wicks on the bottom. You know, total doesn't look too bad. Total does not look too bad. You see bearish, bullish divergence on the 1 hour on BTC. Yeah, right here, man. Lower lows and higher lows in the RSI. So you have classic bullish divergence in the 1 hour. So it could push Bitcoin back up on the short term. We're just waiting for it, right? We just haven't seen it yet. That's really the total, guys. Fear and greed index. I know it was at a 20. It's probably going to update, and we're still at a 20. Obviously, this updates in 18 minutes. I never bought anything from Mac Weldon. Why are you showing me Mac Weldon ads and music ads? What is this? I never even bought any of that stuff. Man. Mana to 0. Best believe. You guys are too funny in the chat. What did Fashad do to you guys? You guys are coming in and talking about Fashad today. Oh, best believe, best believe. Best believe. Why are you preaching Matic to 0? Guys, we can hit up those likes. Don't make me bust out the Instagram meme. You guys want to bust out the Instagram meme, I will. All right? Get those likes up, 500, right? Just because we don't have the intro where I'm like, let's get those likes up. Do, right? Doesn't mean we can't get the likes up. Maybe I'll bring back the music. You guys want the music back? Actually, let me do the vote. I got to do a poll here. Do you want opening music back? Yes, no, and I don't care. I don't watch you anyways. Or I'm just here to troll. And watch. I'm just here to troll. I don't care. Watch paint dry, and I'm just here to troll. All right, there we go. answer the poll the best you want to. All right. So Bitcoin dominance obviously going back up today. What's the general scenario, guys? Bitcoin struggles. Bitcoin dominance goes up, right? You might think, why? That makes no sense. Bitcoin struggles, altcoins struggle more. So Bitcoin dominance goes up. Bitcoin goes up, right? You see the Bitcoin dominance go down. It's a kind of a weird phenomenon, but if you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Audius, yeah, I saw Audius did really well. I actually have the Audius chart up right here. We'll look at Audius in a second, man. We're gonna look at a lot of altcoins today. Probably doing a lot of shoot the S today too, just because, you know, just because. That paint, is that paint? I know, I just watched paint. Common sense. All right, so let's see. US dollar index. You got a pump today, right? You got a pump today. I don't know, man. We're gonna look at something in a second with the news, with the inflation and stuff. But this kind of correlates in with that, so I guess we can talk about it now. Obviously, we saw today inflation, right, rises 5.4%. Excluding food and energy, inflation was 4.5%, which is the highest since, I think, 2008. And what is the exact date here? No, it said somewhere in here. Yeah, the largest jump since August of 2008, just before the worst of the financial crisis. So it's pretty big. It's pretty big. And it happened right before we had a big dump in the stock market in 2008, right? And just the whole economy, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, you look at the DXY, you're having a positive bounce here. And what was the exact date we saw here? It was August of 2008, and the sharpest move in 1991. So August of 2008. We're seeing the DXY pump off that. I don't. People are, I guess, fleeing to the dollar. I guess from a macro view, I don't get why that would pump it up. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding personally, but I would think that would have a negative effect on the dollar. But I could be totally wrong about that. I don't understand why. Someone probably could explain that better to me. But let's go look back in 2008 and see what kind of effect that had, if we can see it here. 2008 in August. You could see what happened after that, right? You got a massive move in that by almost 23%, which is a lot for the dollar, right? So I don't know, man. Did we see some massive pump for the dollar, which we know is not good for crypto? We'll have to wait and see, right? On the next episode of Jordan Ball Z. On Jordan Ball Z. But yeah, seriously. Who knows what's going to happen here? Weekly looks... I mean, the daily looks pretty bullish on this. Looks like a nice little like cup and handle and could be breaking out. It looks like we're about to break this trend line. We're right at it right now. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but we're right there. Stock market obviously took a huge dip. And then one thing I did want to note with the stock market is last time we had bearish divergence on the daily time frame, we got a pretty significant dip. Last time we had it was in May of this year. We had about a 5% dip, which for crypto, that's nothing. But for the stocks, I mean, that's a good amount, right? So we'll see what happens. You do have bearish divergence right now. And obviously, you did break that below your 1.618 fib. So we'll see what happens there. But, you know, stock market looking semi-bearish on the indicators. Obviously, they're indicators, right? Doesn't mean we have to go huge crash or anything. But, you know, a little correction, maybe 4 or 5% correction could make sense for the S&P. And yeah, that's kind of the macro, guys. I mean, inflation, dollar up, stock market down. You would think good inflation would be good for crypto, but the stock market didn't, or the S&P in particular did not perform well today. So that's kind of that, guys. The dollar is pumping because market believes Fed will taper that inflation dropping as expected. Interesting. The fact we haven't bounced today pisses me off. Me too, Outdoor Tony. All right, what did this poll do? Do you want the opening music back? We have 49% yes, 19% no, 19% I don't care. I just watch paint dry. Nice. I'm glad we all watch paint dry right now. And 13% I'm just here to troll. I'm glad almost 1/8, or I guess just say 1/9 of you guys are just here to troll. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the trolls in here. If you're a troll, put your hand up in the chat. Put your hand up in the damn chat. Yep. Then 19% of you guys are here to troll. You should invest in both retro. All right. That kind of correlated to the news, right? The other thing I did want to check on real quick, if you guys you guys don't like Chainlink, I know there used to be a lot of Band Protocol fans in here. I mean, you got to have some bullish news for Band Protocol. They just announced their next phase, which could be with some pretty big partnerships with Google, Microsoft, and Bloomberg. Now, this is not confirmed. This is obviously potential partnerships, but you know, for all you Chainlink lovers out here, I don't think this affects us at all, but it could be good for a competitor of an Oracle project to have some bullish news. So we'll see if anything happens with Band, but I know there's a good amount of Band fans in here, or at least there used to be Band fans in here. Not the band where you guys are playing music, right? Only I'm the singer of the band, but Band Protocol we're talking about, all right? But once again, not a lot of news besides the old typical China and grayscale stuff that we'll talk about probably later this week when that stuff actually either blows over or affects the market, right? I'm a shark and trolls clothing. Dude, I like Chainlink at its price. I like everything at its price right now. Fortunately, I'm out of fiat. Because I have to work at McDonald's. You guys think I have fiat to buy these dips? You guys are always asking me, Jordan, are you buying this dip on this project? I don't have fiat. I work at McDonald's. I have to steal kids' toys and sell them for 30 cents just so I can buy a third of our Cardano every day. Okay? The struggle is real right now. The struggle is freaking real. Band project. Yeah. but it's good. I'm buying about a third of a Cardano a day. So one of these days, I'm going to be a millionaire. I could buy millions of Shiba a day, though, if I really wanted to. All right, super chats. See where we're at today. Obviously, a pretty gloomy day, so a pretty short day today. We actually already busted through all of them as I was kind of talking, so that's good. That's good. Let's go gainers and losers of the day. Let's go. You know what? Let's get some clapping in here. You know what? Because
strap up, we're going to the moon.
I think we just say we need to go to the moon just because, right? Just because. Like, we probably pressed that button 3 times in the last month, and it's seriously, man, George Meta bought the dip too many times. Yeah. Oh, please, you make Outdoor Tony. What's up, out? Later, Jordan gave you a thumbs up. Thank you, Bitlender. Thank you, Bitlender. Gainers and losers. I don't think this is accurate. Let me refresh. All right, whole market down 2.73%. TJ said, why? Let's be honest. Cardano sucks. And if we're being honest, Cardano has a lot of promise. And I've always admitted about this for Cardano. It's my third biggest holding, but Cardano has a lot of promise that they need to deliver on this promise. But they also do have one of the biggest communities in crypto, if not the most loyal community in crypto. You go at Cardano, the Cardano sharks will come at you. You go at Cardano, the whales. Here's my whale. The whales, Cardano whales will come at you, right? This is a whale coming at me right now because it doesn't know if I'm going to talk crap about it. So I'm going to wait till it goes off the screen to talk crap about Cardano. Let me wait till I can only see his tail. Okay, he's gone. He can't hear me anymore. I want to make sure he's gone again. All right, he's gone. Cardano has a lot of promise, right? Obviously, a lot of stuff that's supposed to come out on it, but we'll see. But the community is huge for Cardano. Obviously, a huge proportion of Cardano is staked, which is huge too. So we'll see. You guys know I like Cardano though. A lot of potential. Cotton candy. Okay, but what does it do? DJ, I'm agreeing with you, man. I'm agreeing with you. Best believe. Potential is French. For ain't worth a damn yet. I agree. You come for Cardano, you got no ADA. What's coming for you, son? So Cardano is officially a meme coin. Here we go. Everyone's gonna attack Cardano now. Here we go. They have excellent hearing. They do. All the Cardano people are coming in now. All right. Anyways, let's see. Ethereum. Oh, my wife down 5% today. It was the biggest loser in the top 10. Nope. Uniswap beat it out. But Cardano down. Ethereum down 5%. I mean the whole top 20 is down. A couple percentage points. Nothing crazy today. Biggest gainers, we're seeing Axie Infinity continue to crush it. And I like the project. I like the damn project. All right. It's like I like the stock. Okay. But I like this, dude. It's like some Pokemon game, but not Pokemon. Blockchain-based trading and battling game that is partially owned and operated by its players. Inspired by popular games like I'm gonna have to start playing this game because apparently this thing's huge. And it's been going off since the end of June, literally going off. That $20, and then literally at the end of June, it was like $3. So I want to play this damn game, which means I might have to FOMO into Axie to play it. I'm not sure if I have to buy Axie to play it, but I might have to FOMO. Hedera hash graph up for ICP. Hey, ICP up today. Good for all you ICP bag holders out there. I'm not sure, not sure that's necessarily anyone's an ICP bag holder out there. Who here actually owns ICP? Who here owns ICP? Now you need about 1,500, 2,000 to play it. Seriously? That thing gonna dump soon? I don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about this personally. No FOMO. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't FOMO into projects, but I do want to play this game though, whatever kind of game it is. Terra Hashgraph, ICP, Crypto.com, Omni, Ontology. Not a lot of big gainers. I did have the Audius. I don't know if a lot of you guys like Audius. You were talking about yesterday. Had a nice pump today. It actually broke this trend line that we were talking about yesterday. Boom, back up to the upside, which is crazy because obviously Bitcoin struggled today, but Audius was like
Nope.
and pumped. So crazy, awesome stuff for Audius. I think if we look at maybe where we're gonna go, you didn't hit any fib levels, at least not on your short term. Let's look at this high to this low. Yeah, I mean, looks like you're trying to close right at your 3.382 fib right now, with 4 minutes left to go in the daily. Makes some sense there. Now your next level is about 146. Then you got your golden pocket at about 167. But Audius looking really good, man. Daily RSI is getting up there. You still got some room to run. I'm assuming the 4 hour probably has, yeah, you're pretty high in the 4 hour. But one thing I will note is you actually don't have any bearish divergence, right? But you are pretty high. You probably need a little bit of correction. And on the 1 hour, you do have bearish divergence on the 1 hour, but it's only the 1 hour, right? So it could be a small correction there for Audius. Maybe you come back down and maybe retest this and then continue up. Could be a possibility, especially with Bitcoin struggling a little bit, right? But I want some Audius, and I think a retest of this trend line at about $1, I think I'd scoop some up personally, in my personal opinion. Bitcoin 32,700. We're coming up on that daily close, guys. 3 minutes until the daily close. 3 minutes until the daily close. Want to play a little game rolling with a clown mask terrorizing people? What are you talking about, George? Georgie, Georgie, George. Georgie, George. George always being George in the chat, man. Where's the rant tab? Need the daily rant. The daily rant's coming. I just need something to rant about. I always rant, but it always usually starts from something that I see in the chat that either gets me ticked off, which is usually not that, or someone states something that I'm passionate about, and then I just start ranting about it. But the daily rant will come. It will come. You can't plan the rants because they're not true rants if you plan them. A rant is something where you're like, you just start preaching, you start going off. That's a true rant. None of this planned rant stuff. Celsius worth adding to portfolio at 580. Yeah, it could be, right? I think Celsius is kind of like BlockFi, right? If I was doing my research correctly. It's like BlockFi. All-in-one banking and financial services for cryptocurrency users. Worth adding. Yeah, I mean, if you like it, dude. If you like the stock. No, but Celsius is, I like Celsius as a project. See the charts for it.
Celsius worth adding to portfolio at $5.80.
Celsius. I like the stock.
It's the daily close. I repeat, it's the daily close.
Man, that's too funny. Anyways, we'll go to the daily on Celsius. Is it worth adding at, what was the question? Is it worth adding at 580? I think right now you got a couple, such a volatile chart. Like you have so many wicks on this thing.
ADA. TPS 10,000 plus versus 1,000 plus. Finality 3 to 5 secs versus 5 minutes. TX fee 0.0001 fixed versus 0.3 plus variable. Energy
Wow, Robert's going off for H bar. No, I actually watched I watched a few things on H bar today, like I told you I was going to, man. H bar is one of those ones I have to do a little more research on. It's not as straightforward as some of the other ones I went over. Apparently it's has a lot of complex stuff going on. That's one I'll have to go down the rabbit hole a little bit more, but
What says up, Jordan? Hope you have a good day partying.
seems like a cool project. What's up, Wes? Hope you had a good day too, man. Hope you had an absolute fantastic day, I should say, my guy. But anyways, Celsius, yeah, I think 180 is kind of your next support, right? Kind of keep where you keep bouncing it. Now, if you break, I'd probably DCA on this because you don't really know where Bitcoin's going to go short term. So I always recommend DCAing, holding some gunpowder in case you do go lower. Maybe put some buy order there at 580, and then maybe this next support here we have some couple wicks at maybe like 547 or give or take, you know, a few cents there. Put a little bit above just so you get in, but maybe like 550 or so.
Can you look at NMR and give me your opinion on the project?
Doesn't seem like a bad area to buy, man. Work? If you're looking to hold long term. Is there a fine tire for a crystal ball? Robert going off for H bar. Going absolutely off. The daily close voice. It sounds so high. Oh man. Those bots were made for trolling. Yeah, H bar has a lot going on, man. So basically what we're saying is H bar is better than ADA because it's faster, has lower fees, and it has lower energy consumption. You can make the, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, Rob. H bar seems pretty cool. I'm playing devil's advocate here. If you were to take that same type of mindset, that's like thinking that Litecoin is going to be better than Bitcoin. That's like thinking Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin SV or Bitcoin Cash is going to be better than Bitcoin, right? If you go by that thinking, because something's faster, has lower fees, more scalable, stuff like that, you know, you can make a case that a lot of coins are better than Bitcoin. Does it really matter at the end of the day? Not really. Sometimes it's kind of just name recognition and community, right? As far as Cardano versus H bar, but not saying H bar is a bad project. Probably better than Cardano on the surface, but at the end of the day, does a lot of that stuff really matter? Maybe someday, but right now we're in a speculative market, and you know, big communities someday can win, right? Dash. Ian said, "Can you look at NMR and give me your opinion on the project? How does it work?" NMR. Numerair. Actually, I have never looked at this one. It's outside my range of knowledge, man, but we'll see what it is. Ethereum-based platform allowing developers and data scientists to experiment and create machine learning models with improved reliability. So they're looking to decentralize the data science field and allow developers to compete and create effective machine learning predictive models. Well, there you go. Looking to have decentralized data science field, right? And there's probably a little bit more that goes into it, right? A little more that goes into it. But, you know, you can read it on Martketcap. You can watch videos on YouTube, all that fun stuff. But I'd have to do more research to actually understand what it actually is trying to do, other than kind of one little paragraph here, right? But I mean, the chart is looking like it's falling, like just like the rest of the market. But I don't know, man. I've never looked at this one before, to be honest. Your sound keeps muting for a second every now and then. Are you sitting on the control? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. What's going on, Romario? Sound keeps going in and out. Is the sound actually going in and out, guys? Art Vandalay. All trolls, give a like. That's very true. All right. Is Bitcoin doing anything? Absolutely not. Why would it be? Why would it be? All right, it's trying to bounce as much as it can on stream, right? I think a $5 bounce is about all we get here. Yeah, it might just be whoever's in the chat. It might just be you that's having those sound issues, man. But yeah, that's really that, dude. Really that. Oh, let's do my favorite part of the stream. At least right now, at least until we start pumping again. My favorite part of the stream, looking at these gainers and losers here. Let's see if we have anything funny today. Anything funny on here? Not a lot of funny stuff today. Whitmere, Dota Finance, Option Room, one share, Elon Doge. We got another Doge. I think that was already done though. Elon Doge. Doge back. Hold on. It's just on the back of a Doge. It's like literally a Doge, but instead of the front face, it's the back of the Doge. Like, you can't make this up. What is there, a Doge tail? A Doge foot? Like, how far are we going to get into this? That's insane. Losers. Anything funny here? Mini baby Doge. So there's a mini Doge, there's a baby Doge, and now there's a mini baby Doge. Shiba Cash. Dude. Yeah, nothing crazy on there today. Nothing crazy. But the funniest one was Safe Moon Inu. Safe Moon Inu was the funniest one. Gildson, I am not looking at Elon Shiba. I am not looking at it. I am not looking at it. All right. 28. Let's go. What did we look at before? We looked at Axie Infinity earlier. ICP. They're really. I'm probably just gonna take some suggestions in the chat, honestly, because a lot of these coins, they're not really pumping that much, to be all honest. So, you know what I'll do for the rest of the stream? It's probably gonna end up being a shorter stream today. I just have that feeling, just because Bitcoin's doing literally nothing today. But you know what we'll do? I'm going to answer some questions in the chat. So if you want me to look at some of your coins, you just have a general question you got for me, literally anything, let me know in the chat. And don't ask me about space, because if you ask me about space, then I'm going to start thinking about space, and it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. Let me just look at the Bitcoin daily close here. It's your typical bearish day for, the daily close. Typical bearish day. Nothing else really to say besides that, right? We know it's most likely now. I think you come back down and retest the screen box, like we said earlier, at this point. Do I stake my coins? I don't, Tiago. I don't. Will the Bucks tie the series? Will the Bucks tie the series? I think they do. They're at home. And it all depends on that ref who doesn't like Chris Paul is the ref, right? Guy who doesn't like Chris Paul. Where Chris Paul has never won in any game that he's played. Or any game that he's reffed. Let's see. Oh, did you guys I'm not sure if what's up with that Cryptos R Us and Crypto Banter beef right now. I don't even know what happened with that. Does anyone actually know what happened with the crypto banter and George thing? I have no idea what happened with that.
Anything can happen. HBAR will struggle
I
to
saw it on
succeed
Twitter
without
today. I was like,
vast
what the heck's going
adoption,
on?
as fees are so low.
They're just going,
But
they're
with
just taking
Google,
jabs at each other.
IBM, etc. on Governor Council, I feel good.
Agree, anything can happen. HBAR will struggle to succeed without vast adoption, as fees are so low. But with Google, IBM, etc. on government console, I feel good. Yeah, Robert, any one of these coins can do well. It just all depends on, you know, if people start picking it up, right? If it gets good partnerships, gets adoption, gets a good community behind it, any coin can really do well. It's like we said, a lot of it's speculation, right? Maybe one day HBAR will, you know, be the Cardano that we're talking about right now, right? Who knows? Who knows? Hex. I don't know Hex. John said, I know nothing about it, but I'm taking George's side. You know what? Me too. Me too. One, because I never watched crypto banter. I just never really got into it. But and two, I like George. He seems like a good guy. So I'm on George's side, even though I know nothing about it. Small love potion. George, first banter. Hopium verse told you so. Man. What's up, Alejandro? All right. DCS wanted Hex. Do I really want to look at Hex? I know Hex was pumping, man. I'll look at it real quick. Because I do want to have a point about Hexes. Not to FOMO into these coins, especially ones that are, you know, like we've talked about yesterday. Like it's being pumped by that guy that was on BitBoy's channel. Something someone said the other day that it was like a certain amount of this was held by like one person, probably him, I'm guessing. So just be careful with coins like this. And you did hit your 1.618 fib, I think. Yeah. You hit your 1.8618 fib, so you're probably gonna have a little bit of a pullback here.
Elon saying Daddy Doge to Mars leaving the courthouse today. It's going parabolic now. Wow. Look at Daddy Doge Twitter.
Look at Daddy Doge Twitter. Daddy Doge, here we go. You do have some pretty gnarly bearish divergence. So you see it making 3 consecutive lower highs on the RSI and 3 consecutive higher highs on the price action. So on the daily, get some gnarly, and yes, I'm using the word gnarly, bearish divergence here. Weekly, same thing. Gnarly, bearish divergence on the weekly. Be careful if you're going to FOMO into this. Not saying it can't go higher, but when you have bearish divergence on the daily and the weekly time frame, and you just hit the 1.618 Fibonacci, just be careful. Don't FOMO. Okay? I know a lot of people are asking about Hex because they want to FOMO in. Like I said, not saying it can't go higher. It could go higher. Who knows how high this can go, right? But just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, all right? Will Hex beat MT Gox? I don't know. What else you got for me here? What else you got? Best believe. Good night, Crypto Newbie. Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for hanging out. Sheldon is better than that other guy on Crypto Banter Show. I don't really know anything about Crypto Banter, to be honest. I think I watched it once. Jordan, you looking sexy this afternoon? Thank you, Joe. I personally think I always look sexy. Now, most of the time I'm like, sometimes on stream I'm like, my hair is like, and like a Johnny Bravo hair. Which, yes, I know there's a Johnny Bravo streamer. And I didn't know that until after I said that last time. Doge. Have you seen the viral video of Elon saying Daddy Doge tomorrow is leaving the courthouse today? It's going parabolic now. He's such a troll, man. He's just trolling. He's not being serious. He's not literally being serious. He's only saying that just to be a troll. He doesn't like Daddy Doge. He likes every Doge. He's a troll. The trolls, dude. So many trolls. Not in the chat, but like Elon's just such a troll. Hello, Jordan. Should I FOMO in FA? Did you FOMO in this? Oof. Man, what a day for FA.
Hello, Jordan. Should I FOMO in PHA?
I don't know what this is. Hold on. 165. All right. Just making sure it wasn't like an S coin, but FA, not too bad. Not too shabby. You got room to run on the 4 hour. You got no bearish divergence on the 4 hour. Daily, don't even have enough data, right? And look at the hourly. Hourly, look at a little, you have a little bit of bearish divergence on the hourly, so keep that in mind. But I mean, you are making higher lows. You might have actually broke down. If you take it from the candle bodies, you might have broke down, but I was going to say maybe you're in some type of like ascending triangle. But you do have a little bit of bearish divergence. So you see you made, on the candle bodies, you made higher highs, and on the RSI, you made lower highs. So keep that in mind. Could need a little bit of a pullback first. I don't know if I would necessarily FOMO it now. Obviously, you know the general drill, right? But you didn't hit your 1.618 fib yet. So technically speaking, you could go a little bit higher here. Look at 1.618 Fibonacci. Look at that, dude. It's exactly at $1. Man, you can't make it up. 1.618 Fibonacci is exactly at $1 psychological level. I think you go up to it just because it's $1. But don't FOMO it. Don't FOMO into this. I don't recommend FOMOing. Why is Polygon dying? It's not. It's just going down with the rest of the market, man. It's just going down with the rest of the market. What's my criteria for an S coin? Anything that's ranked 1,000 or below in market cap, or anything that has zero use case. That's my thing. Honor MC, who are you talking about, man? I'm sure. Are you talking about crypto banter? I was wondering why Jordan wasn't appearing on my homepage. I never. Oh, wrong account, Claire said. Wrong account. What else you guys got for me? What else do you got? Right? I'm still waiting on something in the chat where I can rant about. If you guys have anything funny. Safe Moon. I'm not looking at Safe Moon, man. Daddy Doge. Daddy Doge is the real deal. No, it's not. Everything, every meme coin that comes out is the real deal. Safe Moon was the real deal, right? Bonfire was the real deal. All these friggin' coins that you don't hear about anymore. Not enough space in the chat for me to vent. What's your issue with Safe Moon? I'm not going to answer the question, man. What's my issue with Safe Moon? What's up, Breja? Thanks for the super chat, man. Honda Civic mufflers. Here we go. Don't get me started with the Honda Civic mufflers. I have nothing wrong with Honda Civics. Honda Civics are great cars, but when you try to make them into a sports car, that's when we start getting into trouble here, and you just start looking like, you know. Let's be honest. If you're trying to make a Civic look like a sports car, I'll leave it there. You guys know what I'm saying with this. You guys know what I'm saying. You bet in certain areas and you go around. What's every car, right? It's a Civic that they try to sound like a Lamborghini, and it's just not. It's just not. Love crickets and crowd for supper. Bite boy or George? Now there's a blockchain boy. So now there's a bit boy, and now there's blockchain boy who came out and tried to copy bit boy. You know what? He's probably like, you know what? BitBoy is really popular. I'm gonna make my channel name Blockchain Boy. And like I've always said, you can't trust anyone that's a man and calls himself a boy. You can't. You can't do it. It should be Bitman, not BitBoy.
Please pull up Daddy
And it should be Blockchain Man, not Blockchain Boy.
Twitter account. It's
what are we, kids?
15 million market cap, going to 500 mil.
Can you please pull up Daddy Doge PooCoin? I'm not looking at Daddy Doge. Doges. I know you love Daddy Doge. I know it's probably your life project, and you really want to pump it up. I'm sure it's a $15 million market cap. Just another reason why I'm not going to look at it. I don't want to get people wrecked. You know, some people will probably make money in Daddy Doge because it will pump. But for all the people that make money, there's even more people that are probably going to lose all their money because they invest in it, right? So, Doggy Doge, no disrespect, but not looking at Daddy Doge. Interweb boy. Blockchain boy. Thanks, Max. I'm not actually talking. I'm not saying he's not smart. It's just, I don't know. I love you, real talk with the civics with the fart pipes. I didn't fart, man. I didn't fart. I'll make a Rand like Told You So channel for why Jordan was undervalued.
Can you look at HBAR, please?
Out of this boy. This boy. He's a big guy. I wouldn't F with Blockchain Boy. Bring him on, man. I have another. People always think when I talk about someone else, I think I'm like, all I said is his channel's name is Blockchain Boy. I said you can't trust a man that makes his name Boy. That's all I said. And people are like, oh, Jordan doesn't like Blockchain Boy. Man, I can have too much fun. Too much fun with that. Can you look at H-bar, please? Yes, we can look at H-bar. We talked about H-bar a little bit earlier. I guess everyone wants to look at H-bar. We have a lot of H-bar fans all of a sudden. I guess the community of H-bar is growing, right? Right, Rob? I mean, H-bar has been in a consistent downtrend since about middle of March. Doesn't mean it can't bounce or anything. Pretty obviously at a pretty significant level there, right? Previous highs, 1 and 2 highs, confirmed as support once, twice, 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times.
Why will all the ether mining move to etc. once 2.0 happens?
Jordan Shiba Boy. Shiba Boy. No, I'm changing my name to Jordan Boy. Or Giordano Boy. Alright, Hedera hash graph. You're bouncing off previous highs, confirm it as support once and twice. You just want to hold that level, man. I mean, that's where a lot of these altcoins are at. You're at critical areas. You don't have any bearish divergence, right? You got higher lows in RSI and price action, right? You're just kind of in a, it's not a perfect downtrend, but you can kind of just see like the general direction. I mean, you're just kind of in the downwards channel for the most part, man. That's about it. Downwards channel, one little pump to the upside. But for the most part, I mean, you can look at it as one giant bull flag, right? If you want to be super uber bullish, you can look at it as one giant bull flag, but obviously that's kind of a stretch at this point. And if you can bounce, I mean, hey, who's to say that's not the play out? It's probably even more obvious on the weekly, right? If you look at it in the weekly time frame, oh, this is extremely bullish. You're in a giant bull flag. Perfect. You got to hold this level, though. You got to hold this level. So that's really that. I'm not going to look at the 4-hour time frames today, just because most of the 4-hour time frames are going to look exactly like Bitcoin. So you break that level, look for you move probably back down to probably about 10.7, where you have previous resistance and support. So that's the two levels. Look at that for Hedera. Obviously, you break to the upside, uber bullish. We'll talk about that when the time comes, though. All right, Bitcoin going back down slightly here. Just pretty much going sideways, if we're being honest. Be the DeFi kid. The DeFi kid. Max said, Jordan, name everyone you know with boy in their name. That's why people said shots fired. BitBoy and Blockchain Boy. That's it. That's it. And I don't even watch Blockchain Boy's video, so I know nothing about him. I'm just commenting on the name. And BitBoy, I do think BitBoy's videos are informative and and are good watches, right? So I got no problem with either BitBoy or Blockchain Boy. I was just simply commenting on the name, which I'm sure all you guys know. I don't want no beef. I don't want no George and crypto banter beef. You know what I mean? The DXY is still creeping up.
The DXY is still creeping up.
Yeah, I mean you're you're moving up slightly here, which is good. I mean you're now firmly. You didn't get a daily close, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But if you close above this trend line, it's not going to be good. Not going to be good for crypto. Pretty significant trend line there. And we looked at earlier what happened in 2008. When you got this last time, you got this big inflation and you had a big pump on the DXY. Not going to say it's going to repeat 2008. So it's kind of a stretch at this point, but we shall see, man. It's a good example, though. A good thing to ask. Why will all the Ether mining move to ETC once 2.0 happens? Ethereum is slowly moving from proof of work to proof of stake. So the miners will probably go to Ethereum Classic. We've talked about it in the channel before. I talked about the channel before. I think we talked about it a couple months ago where I said I heard some stuff where the miners are going to move to Ethereum Classic once Ethereum can't mine Ethereum anymore, right? So that is why they're going to go over there, which probably will boost up Ethereum Classic a little bit. But good question. What's up, Shane? Thanks for the super chats. Also from Brandon, Sunnyside. Too much Sunnyside, man. Sunnyside. Now people are talking if they like BitBoy's show. BitBoy has a good show. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of Around the Blockchain. I can't get into it too much, but I do watch BitBoy's morning show from time to time, right? From time to time. I'll tell you one thing. The dollar isn't getting any more valuable. CKB, BitBoy's nephew, best believe. I am BitBoy's nephew, right? I'm the best nephew ever. Literally the best nephew ever. All right. we got to the point where, even we can't even come up with questions in the chat to ask. We just start asking about either beef or we start asking about non-crypto stuff. That's the point where we're at right now. Bitcoin 15-minute MACD. That's what we came to too. We came to looking at the Bitcoin 15-minute MACD. That's where we're at in the crypto market right now. It's not really looking like it wants to flip negative. Looking like we topped out again. Yeah. You also have bearish divergence. Yeah, I mean, the 15-minute looks bearish. It's obviously the 15-minute, right? You do have bearish divergence on the 15-minute. So keep that in mind. You got lower highs, and then you got higher highs in the RSI, and also MACD looking to flip negative. So definitely could be seeing maybe another move back down to 32,230 based off this. Now, obviously, would nullify that if the price pumps and we can get back above this previous high, but obviously that's the 15 minutes, so take it for what you will. Someone asked me about it, so I look, right? Do some 1 second trading, dare you? Jordan, will Filecoin go to 20K because the price is infinite? Filecoin will not go to 20K. Filecoin will not go to 20K. I wish. You watching the All-Star game? No. Are you talking about the baseball All-Star game? How low can Bitcoin go during this bear market? It's a good question, man. I mean, we went over it earlier. I mean, actually, we didn't really go over it today, but you know, I think we don't go lower than 25 to 27K, but there's multiple levels that we could go to. Obviously, 25 to 27K, golden Fibonacci level, 0.618, 0.65 from our bear market low, to our bull market high. That's the first level I'm looking at. Second level would be obviously our bull market top, 20K. Gonna be big support there. Third level would be 13.7K, right? The 200-week moving average, which is actually upwards of almost 1,300, 900 now. So I might have to update that. That's at 13.9. Let me update that right now, actually. That's slowly moving up, right? That moves up every week that goes by. So those are the three levels I'm looking at for below. But obviously, like, we got to break 34K with a weekly close. And like every week, we always close back above that 50-week moving average. So as long as we do that, we're fine. But there's always levels you can look at for the downside. But, you know, RSI is pretty low already. Doesn't mean we can't go lower than historical values for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin doesn't like being oversold in the weekly, like we've always said. So we don't have too much lower to go, even if we drop lower, in my personal opinion. Just my personal opinion, though. Do your own research, always. Never listen to what anyone says on YouTube, including myself. I'm just a guy over here that likes to look at charts and shoot the S, and a lot of the people on YouTube will try to tell you they know everything, and really, right, especially right now, no one really knows anything. You have people that are uber bullish, you have people that are uber bearish, and you have everyone in between. So make sure you get different opinions, right? Come up with your own hypothesis and then kind of go from there. That's what I always recommend people to do. Jazz ain't here in chat. Jazz ain't here and chat is born. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crypto right now, right? Kind of crypto right now. GTC said dot chart. We can look at dot. Polka dot. The dot. See what's going on with dot. Yeah, listen to George. Don't spam the chat, guys.
How low is ADA and VeChain can go and around when? Thanks.
What? How low is ADA and VeChain can go and around when? Dolphin. If there's anything I've ever said, always make sure when you're asking for price targets, you're stating, you know, what time frame, right? Because how low can it go? I mean, are you talking about tomorrow? Are you talking about next week? Talking about next year? Like, what are we talking here? But I'll go over in a second, man. Polkadot is, I mean, coming close to that support again, where it's wicked down to a couple times. So, you break $13, I could see Polkadot having a nice move. I gotta say nice move. It's not a nice move for a lot of us. Back down to about 1070, approximately where we have our local high here from January, right? So Polkadot, we got some supports, but obviously if Bitcoin continues to be bearish, Polkadot drops. For whatever reason, Bitcoin, Polkadot can pump, which, for whatever reason you do bounce, I think you have the possibility of some bullish divergence here, but you need a bounce before your RSI crosses the previous low, right? So you could have some bullish divergence here, but you got to bounce first. Name of the game. You got to bounce first. We haven't done it yet. So that's that. I mean, if you, whatever reason you do bounce, obviously you got to break, keep it simple. You got to break 1680, right? You're just in a range right now between those two levels. But that's really that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to look at the 1 hour, 4 hour, because there's not really a point of looking at those right now, because every chart looks like BTC today, at least. Dolphin, how low can ADA and VeChain go? Cardano. So how low can it go? How low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go? Man. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, man. All right, Cardano on the daily. To me, how low can Cardano go? I mean, there's no limit to how low can it go, but if we're talking about in the next, let's say Bitcoin drops to 27K. Let's just do a hypothetical. I think Cardano would probably come back down and test $1 in that scenario, right? And that seems to be, like, if you just look in the past, it seems to be generally where Cardano does come back down and retest, right? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. That's the level, right? I would say $1 for Cardano.
So
obviously, you can go drop lower. I'm not saying that's the bottom, right? If Bitcoin, for whatever reason, drops lower, I mean, Cardano, the bottom could drop out on Cardano, right? It could, in all honesty. VeChain, obviously, we know, like, the China FUD and all that stuff. That's kind of fun right now with VeChain, but on the daily, obviously looks a little bearish. Clearly, right? We broke down from this little symmetrical triangle on the 4 hour, broke down, and now we're testing our green box of support. So I say for VeChain, same thing. If Bitcoin drops, I see probably a retest of about 5.8 cents for VeChain, which is your previous high, and there's some support there. Get a wick down to that level. Is that the lowest it can go? I mean, that's a broad question, right? It depends how long we're talking about. VeChain could certainly go lower if Bitcoin drops lower, but like I said, it always depends on VeChain. Bitcoin is diving right now. 32.5. I wouldn't call it diving. I mean, I guess it's not really diving. Trying to. Jordan, maybe Moon Boy was right and are going minus 400 BTC. Who knows? Remember that? Remember I did my head and shoulders, and that was funny. That was really funny. Or I guess it was funny for people that don't own Bitcoin. We looked at our head and shoulders on the weekly, and the target was like negative 400. See if we can do it again. There we go. Target for Bitcoin on the head and shoulders is $70. Just kidding. It's not $70. But negative 400. Who said Bitcoin's going to negative 400? Is that actually someone? Get your diving helmet on. Please no. Please no. I think, like we said, Bitcoin had bearish divergence on the 15 minutes. Looks like you broke some upwards trend line too. So, like I said, I think a retest of 32,230 would make a little bit of sense here. Just a tad bit of sense. Small bit. We're not talking a huge bit, And just sell. He meant when it drops to another 400. Yeah. We'll see. Looks like Bitcoin's dropping a little bit right now. Nothing huge, right? I mean, at the looking at the 15-minute chart right now. So I mean, in all honesty, I mean, dropped about 1%, right? So we haven't really dropped anywhere. Fibonacci's are powerful. Yes, they are. I love me some fibs. I love me some fibs. This one, trying to see if we maybe had any fib projections there. Doesn't look like it. I mean, maybe you're. So that, I mean, they are powerful. I mean, if you just for an example, look, you dipped, came up to the 0.618, got rejected. Came back down, came back up to the 0.5, got rejected. Right. Most of the time we see these like either pumps back up or dips back down. They do generally respect those levels, which is always pretty cool to see. But I love my fibs, man. I love my fibs. You guys know I love my fibs. I love my fibs. Yeah, look at that, man. This swing high to this swing low. Look at that, dude. It's textbook. Pretty textbook. Dumped. Came up. The 0.618 got rejected. Came down, came up, 0.5. Came down, came up, 0.382. Beauty. Beauty. That's how bored we are right now, guys. We're looking at Fibonacci's from previous price action. Your wife is getting spanked? Oh no. Ethereum. Damn, she's not here, which means she's probably getting spanked. Let me call her real quick. Hey babe, what's going on? What's that in the background? Oh, you're chopping you're chopping some food? Oh, lettuce. Okay. Okay, you're making me some salad for later. Sounds good. Sounds good. You're not getting spanked, right? Oh, who's that in the background? It's Neil? I gotta tell Cardano. Peace. Too funny. Too funny. But yeah. Soul's good, man. No, but yeah, I mean Ethereum is getting spanked. I see a move back down to 1686 right now. 1686. He's getting spanked. Oh man. It's one of those nights, dude. It's one of those nights. My wife getting clapped. Chainlink is making me poor. Is Neil in here? Where's Neil? Where's Neil? Please tell me Neil heard that. Damn. Where's Neil? The whole joke and Neil didn't even hear the joke. Come on, man. 1 hour RSI flip bearish at that last high too. Did it flip bearish on the 1 hour? Am I blind? Oh yeah, there you go. I was blind for a second. Sorry, dude. But yeah, you did get higher highs and lower highs on the price action on RSI too. So you had bearish divergence on the 1 hour. So you had it on the 15-minute and on the 1 hour. Not on any of the higher time frames though, but still significant. Probably, like I said, I see probably a move back down to at least 32,200 right now to retest that level. And if we get to there, I mean, we have tons of supports we can look at, you know, going further down. But we'll start with that one at the moment with the bearish div on the 1 hour. We got divs everywhere. Divs everywhere. Neil's having a dip. I guess, you know, I guess I'll have to call up Cardano in a little bit, you know. Got to call up Cardano. ETH wants me to do me dirty. Well, you know what? Too bad I got Cardano's number right in my back pocket. Right? Thank you, Fafa. I try, man. I try. What else you got me? What's up, Patrick? Gotta hit the gym. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for hanging out. And as always, dude, anyone that hangs out right now, I mean, you're a true fan. So I appreciate anyone that's hanging out. Especially when crypto's been boring for the last 2 months. I really do. I really do. It's it's like I said, it's gonna make it even sweeter when we start moving back up again. So as always, I was aiming for the bottom of your channel on my short around 31.6. 31.6. Oh, you're looking down here? 31.6. Yeah. We could definitely go retest that level too. I think we'll get some support at 32.2 though. Because we bounced off that level multiple times. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So pretty significant support historically. Hit that like button. Thank you, Slathan. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. We're at 500 likes. Let's try to at least hit 600. At least hit 600 by 9 o'clock. I think we can do that. At the very least. Crypto is never boring. It's like, so crypto's never boring. I can't really say that. There's always something that's going on, I guess, in crypto. But the main coins, top 10, 20 coins can be boring for periods of time. Right? I'm running out of Band-Aid. But there's been times where Bitcoin's been just as boring. Like I said, I think we're just so accustomed to seeing, parabolic price action. We don't even remember what sideways is like. Even when Bitcoin was up here going sideways for the most part, right? For the most part, I mean, we were distracted because the altcoins were still popping off up here. But Bitcoin was going sideways, really, since, you could argue Bitcoin was going sideways for February to May, right? So almost 3 months of going sideways for the most part. But we didn't notice it because altcoins were popping off. But there's been times where Bitcoin's been just as boring. Down here, I just think we were so accustomed to sideways action where it just wasn't as boring. It wasn't as boring. Like, right here, I mean, dude, look how long we went sideways right here. 3 months. Really, you could stand it over here. Like, close to 3 months of going sideways before you got that big pump between April and July of last year. And then we pumped, and then we went sideways. We went pumped like 1 day, and then we went sideways again for another 36 days. And then we dumped 1 day, and then we went sideways again for another month, right? So really this period right here was just like a giant sideways action for, you're talking over 5 months. But right now it feels more boring than other. Just because we're so used to it. We're so accustomed to boring price action. But yeah, man. Overall, I mean, so the only thing I want to say is, so this price action either reminds me of right here, this area right here, or it reminds me of this area right here. So it could go either way, and that's I guess the fun and the investor in you part. But I was just trying to look at price action throughout time and seeing if there was really anything that was kind of similar, which is really not, right? Really not. Hope some of these whales get wrecked. Isn't that bullish divergence or bearish divergence? Which one, man? Which one are we looking at? Which one are we looking at, dude? We got bearish div on the 1 hour. Not sure what else you're talking about, though. It's just like March of 2020. How is it like March of 2020? A little confused. I don't think it's any, right. The price to action doesn't look anything like that. I'm a little confused. We fall and then we rise. Maybe. What's the coincidence that Bitcoin starts taking off this weekend? Same exact time frame that Apollo 11 headed to the moon. I don't know.
What's the coincidence that Bitcoin starts taking off this weekend? The same exact time frame that Apollo 11 headed to the moon.
And I loved it. Like, that's a good question. I know everyone likes the moon phases, so maybe the moon phases plus the Apollo go to the moon. Maybe Bitcoin will go to the moon, right? I don't think anything happens this. I could be wrong though, because you got like I said, you got the GBTC thing, which I don't think is a big deal, but people make that stuff a big deal, right? It's gonna be someone's gonna make it a big deal, okay? And all the news outlets are gonna be talking about how bearish it is, FUD this, FUD that. Grayscale's dumping all their Bitcoin, all this FUD that's gonna come out, and it might temporarily push the price down. Who knows? Could be a non-event. Could already be priced in. Who knows? And then after it, it could be priced in. It does nothing. Then people realize that they were panicking for no reason, and then Bitcoin could start pumping again. That could also be a scenario too, where this whole GBTC thing is already priced in. Whole China FUD thing's already priced in. All this stuff's already priced in, and we just don't go lower. And we just kind of build a base, and then at some point we start just rounding out, and we go up. Very similar to right here, right where we had this dump. Everyone was bearish again, and then we just start rounding up slowly, and we eventually go up.
Can you determine what the bottom would be for VeChain?
Same thing down here, right? We dump. Everyone's bearish, right? We're going to 1,000. We slowly round up, and we go up, right? Could be something like that. But we'll see if it's priced in. Obviously, we got a couple days. We got 5 days until that happens, and we shall find out, dude. We shall find out. Grayscale's loading up on ETC. What's keeping other coins from coming up since the fall of Bitcoin? Just how it is, man. When there's uncertainty in the market, you're not going to see altcoins pump for the most part. You'll see some of them pump. But obviously, we know right now crypto is a speculative market. So when Bitcoin's not performing well, like the most important, really the driver of the whole space, people aren't going to speculate on altcoins. Kind of just how it is. I wish it was different. I wish Bitcoin was struggling, but you might see a coin like come out with some bullish stuff. Let's say Ethereum 2.0 did come out. Ethereum would pump, Bitcoin would dump. I wish we saw stuff like that where it was a little bit more research based. But fortunately, it's not right now. Fortunately, it's not right now. It's super flat. No rounding at the moment. Super flat. It is. Can you determine what the bottom would be for VeChain? Tony, I have no idea. The best thing I could probably give you is the short term. Say I don't know if we're going to dump or not, dude. Like, to even start there, we don't know if we're going to dump or pump right now. Let's say, just hypothetical, Bitcoin dumped to 27K. You're looking at about a 20% move or so, right? 27K from where we are right now. 20% move. So, just a hypothetical, VeChain, right? You had a 20% move, even though altcoins usually dump a little bit lower, a little harder. You're seeing at least probably a dump to, 5.5 cents based off that, but we know altcoins dump harder. Let's say VeChain dumps 25%, maybe 5.2 cents, but that's all be speculative, right? We don't know if Bitcoin's going to dump. Bitcoin could pump out of nowhere. We have no idea. It only takes one bullish thing to come out, and then all of a sudden, everyone's bullish. Everyone's unzipping their bear costumes, throwing them in the corner for next year. That's all it takes sometimes. So I don't love, what's the exact bottom, right? I don't love those questions because no one really knows. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know what? This is the exact bottom for VeChain. This is the exact bottom. You should not listen to anyone else. I know what exactly all I'm talking about. I'm the only person you should listen to. I'm not going to be that guy. There's plenty of those type of guys out there. So if you want one of those guys, you know, there's plenty of other channels that'll be like, I know everything. You should listen to me. You should get my course, right? There's plenty of those out there. But I'm not going to try to act like I know stuff that I don't. Yeah, no problem, Tony. I kind of going on a rant. That was kind of my little rant there. That was kind of my little rant. I love my bear costume. It's stained with spinach. That's funny, Connor. But thanks, Tony. Kind of just not just you, kind of just a generality. You know what I mean? Just a generality. Thank you, Super Doge. Why are these charts backwards? I have no idea. I have no idea. My diamond hands broke long ago. My diamond hands. Look at how diamond they are. You know what? Watch this. Hold up. Wait. Oh, it doesn't work when I... Oh, man. I was going to have the diamond hands through the water. And they're going to look like diamonds. Fortunately, when I put my hand behind it, it's not see-through. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right, it's 9 o'clock. What else? Did I do everything on there? Yeah. 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. I'll answer a few more questions in the chat. But I think Bitcoin is at... not the exact same price. But we're always within like $100 of when we start the stream. What do you know? We actually changed negative 0.05% since we streamed for the last 2 hours. Who would have thought, man? Had to work late at McDub's. What's up, Joe? You had to work late at McDub's? Boss said you got to work a double tomorrow? Dude. I can't work a double. I can't. I'm already exhausted. I streamed this morning, went to McDonald's, worked 8 hours, came back here, hopped right on the stream, and that's all I had to do, right? That's literally all I had to do. All day. I've had no time to myself, and he wants me to come in and work a double tomorrow just so I can make $80 and buy, and buy 80 Cardano. Right? Dude. Ridiculous. Should I call him? No, I'm not going to call him. Maybe I'll call him in a little bit. Thanks, man. Jordan, your thoughts on Safe Doge Inu?
Nope. 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 Nope.
Actually, let me call Bitcoin real quick because I want to make sure, You gonna answer? She always answers. She knows what's up. I guess I have to leave a voicemail. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, but Ethereum, I guess, is getting. I guess she's getting spanked over at Neil's house for some reason. So we got the free house here tonight. So if you want to come over, come on over. I've been talking about you the whole stream tonight. The whole stream I've been talking about you. So I'm ready to go. Oh, you're gonna pump me up? Okay, you're gonna pump up my portfolio. All right, sounds good. I'll see you like 9:30. Bye. All right, we're good. We're good, guys. I got my hookup for later. Eth is being a bad wife. She's been a bad girl. She's been a bad girl. A bad girl. Proof of spank, said JB. Oh, man. Too funny. Too funny. All right. I might end the stream on that just because her and Ada are watching a movie tonight. Thank you, Neil. You actually heard it now. I did a different joke earlier. But anyways, I'm probably gonna end the stream just because there's really nothing going on. Well, I'll end it on that note. But all right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Go watch George stream after the stream. You guys, want some hopium right now? I was pretty bearish tonight. Probably put a lot of you guys in a bad mood. Go watch some George, right? I'll probably watch some George so I can get some hopium and maybe come out with some hopium tomorrow during the stream. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I probably won't be streaming in the morning tomorrow unless Bitcoin's doing something. I probably will see you between 7 and 10 p.m. tomorrow night, right? Let's hope for some good price action. Hope for any price action, right? Anything, please. Bitcoin, I'm begging you. She's coming over tonight. I'm going to ask her if she can give us some price action. If she says no, well, I'm moving her back home. She's getting an Uber back home. All right, and I'll pay for it because she's going. But all right. Catch you guys later. Peace. Enjoy the game if you're watching the Bucks versus Suns. All right. Peace.